Have you ever wondered why some people keep growing while others seem stuck in the same place year after year? What if the biggest obstacle to your growth is not your lack of talent, resources, education, or opportunities? What if the real enemy is something much closer, something you face every day without even realizing it? Could the biggest enemy of your growth be you? The truth is, growth does not happen automatically. While everyone wants success, improvement, and progress, very few people intentionally overcome the barriers that stand in their way. Growth is a choice, and every choice has an enemy. In today's lesson, we are going to uncover the 5 enemies of growth that silently hold people back from reaching their God-given potential. These enemies can affect your personal life, leadership, career, relationships, and spiritual journey. The good news is this: once you identify these enemies, you can defeat them. And when you defeat them, you position yourself for continuous growth and lasting success. So stay with me as we explore the 5 enemies of growth you must defeat. One of these enemies may be the very thing that's keeping you from becoming all that you were created to be. Enemy number 1, fear of the unknown. Let me ask you a question. How many opportunities have you missed simply because you didn't know how things would turn out? One of the greatest enemies of growth is the fear of the unknown. It's the voice that says, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I make the wrong decision? What if things get worse instead of better? The interesting thing about fear of the unknown is that it often disguises itself as wisdom. We tell ourselves we are being careful, but in reality, we are avoiding growth. Think about it. Every major step in life involves uncertainty. Starting a new job, launching a business, getting married, moving to a new city, stepping into leadership, or pursuing God's calling. None of these come with the guarantees. If you wait until you have all the answers, you will never move forward. Many people remain in the same place for years, not because they lack ability, but because they are waiting for certainty. They want to see the entire staircase before taking the first step. But growth has never worked that way. The people who grow are not those who have no fear. They are the ones who move forward despite their fear. Every successful person has faced uncertainty. Every leader has taken steps without knowing exactly how things would unfold. Every person who has grown had to leave the comfort of what was familiar. The truth is, growth begins where comfort ends. So, how do you defeat the fear of the unknown? Start small. Take the next step you know you need to take. You don't need to know the whole journey. You only need enough courage for the next step. Remember this: the unknown is not your enemy. Staying where you are because of fear is the real enemy. Your future is often hidden behind the very door that fear is telling you not to open. Don't let uncertainty rob you of your potential. Take the step. Learn along the way. Grow through the process, because you will never discover what is possible until you move beyond what is comfortable. So, growth begins when you take a step before you have all the answers. Enemy number 2, the comfort of what's known. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever stayed where you are, not because it was the best place to be, but because it was familiar? One of the greatest enemies of growth is the comfort of what is known. It is the desire to stay where things are predictable, safe, and familiar. The problem is that growth rarely happens in comfortable places. Many people have dreams, goals, and potential, but they remain stuck because they become comfortable with their current routines. They know they should learn something new, start that project, improve their health, develop their skills, or pursue their calling, but they keep putting it off. That's where laziness, procrastination, and lack of initiative quietly enter the picture. The danger is not always doing the wrong thing. Sometimes the danger is doing nothing at all. Every day, procrastination says tomorrow. Laziness says later. Comfort says stay where you are. Before long, weeks become months and months become years. Growth requires discipline when motivation is gone. It requires action when excuses seem easier. It requires taking calculated risks when staying comfortable feels safer. Many people wait until they feel motivated before they act. Successful people act first, and motivation follows. If you want your life to change, you must be willing to change your habits. Your future is not determined by your intentions. It is determined by your daily actions. Ask yourself, what opportunity have I been postponing? What step have I been avoiding? What habit is keeping me from becoming who I could be? Remember this, your comfort zone may feel safe, but it is often the place where dreams stop growing. The life you want is usually found on the other side of discipline, initiative, and courageous action. Don't let comfort become your prison. Take the step, build the habit, do the work, because growth begins when you become willing to leave what is comfortable for what is possible. Your comfort zone may protect you from failure, but it will also prevent you from growth. We are talking about the 5 enemies of growth you must defeat. Enemy number 3, low self-esteem, low confidence, and negativity. Let me ask you a question. How many opportunities have you talked yourself out of because you didn't believe you were good enough? One of the most dangerous enemies of growth is not outside of you, it is inside of you. It is the voice that says, I can't do it. I'm not qualified. Others are better than me. What if I fail? I will never be able to do that. Low self-esteem, low confidence, and negativity have stopped more people from reaching their potential than lack of talent ever has. The tragedy is that many people are not defeated by their circumstances. They are defeated by the story that keep telling themselves. When you constantly focus on your weaknesses, mistakes, and limitations, you begin to believe they define you. You start seeing problems instead of possibilities, obstacles instead of opportunities, and failure instead of growth. The truth is, confidence is not believing you can do everything perfectly. Confidence is believing you can learn, grow, and improve. Every successful person started somewhere. Every expert was once a beginner. Every leader was once uncertain. The difference is that they did not allow negative thinking to control their future. Ask yourself, are you speaking words that build you up or tear you down? Are you focusing on what is possible or only on what could go wrong? Are you allowing your past failures to define your future potential? Remember this, you will never rise above the beliefs you hold about yourself. If you constantly tell yourselves you cannot, you probably won't. But when you begin to see yourself as someone who can learn, grow, and overcome, everything changes. Don't let negative thoughts become permanent beliefs. Challenge them, replace them, move forward anyway. Because growth begins when you stop listening to the voice that says, I can't, and start believing that with effort, learning, and faith, you can become more than you are today. Your future is not limited by your ability. It is often limited by what you believe about your ability. Enemy number 4, lack of vision. Let me ask you a question. Are you making decisions based on where you are today or based on where you want to be 5 years from now? One of the greatest enemies of growth is a lack of vision. When people cannot see beyond today, they often settle for less than what they are capable of becoming. Vision gives direction to growth. Without it, life becomes a series of reactions rather than intentional actions. People with a temporary mindset focus only on immediate comfort, immediate pleasure, and immediate results. They ask, what's in it for me right now? Why should I invest time if I don't see quick results? Why should I make sacrifices today? The problem is that everything valuable in life takes time. Strong relationships, successful careers, financial stability, leadership influence, spiritual maturity, and personal growth are all built over time. Without a clear vision, it becomes easy to quit when things get difficult. Every challenge feels like a dead end instead of a stepping stone. Think about a builder. No one starts laying bricks without first seeing the finished building in their mind. In the same way, growth begins when you have a picture of the person you want to become. People who grow consistently are not driven by today's feelings. They are driven by tomorrow's vision. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What kind of impact do I want my life to make? What am I doing today that is moving me toward that vision? Remember this, when your vision is clear, your decisions become easier. Don't trade your future for temporary comfort. Don't sacrifice long-term growth for short-term convenience. Lift your eyes beyond today. See the big picture. Live with purpose, because growth flourishes when vision is strong and dies when vision is absent. People without vision live for the moment. People with vision prepare for the future. Enemy number 5, circumstances and surroundings. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that your circumstances are holding you back from becoming who you want to be? Maybe it's your financial situation. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's the people around you. Maybe you look at others who seem to be far ahead of you and wonder, how can I ever catch up? One of the greatest enemies of growth is believing that your circumstances determine your future. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect conditions to grow. They think, when I have money, I will grow. When my situation improves, I will start. When I meet the right people, I will move forward. But growth doesn't happen when circumstances become perfect. Growth happens when you decide not to let your circumstances stop you. The truth is, every successful person has faced limitations. Some lacked money, some lacked education, some battled health challenges, some had no support, yet they refused to let their circumstances define them. Your environment can influence you, but it does not have to control you. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. The fact that someone is ahead of you does not mean you are behind in life. Everyone is running a different race. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Use the opportunities, resources, abilities, and relationships that are already in your hands. Remember this, your circumstances may explain where you are today, but they do not have to determine where you will be tomorrow. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the next step. Because growth belongs to those who move forward despite their limitations, not those who wait for them to disappear. Your circumstances are a chapter in your story, not the title of your life. As we close, remember this. Growth is not determined by your talent, your education, your finances, or even your circumstances. More often than not, growth is determined by the enemies you choose to overcome. The fear of the unknown will tell you not to start. Comfort will tell you to stay where you are. Low confidence will tell you that you are not good enough. Lack of vision will keep you focused on today instead of tomorrow. And your circumstances will try to convince you that growth is impossible. But none of these enemies have the final say. The moment you recognize them, challenge them, and refuse to surrender to them, you begin to grow. You don't have to defeat all 5 enemies today. Just identify the one that is holding you back the most and take one step forward. Remember, growth is a choice. Growth is intentional. Growth happens when you decide that staying the same is no longer an option. So don't let fear stop you. Don't let comfort trap you. Don't let negativity define you. Don't let lack of vision limit you. And don't let circumstances control you. Your potential is greater than your obstacles. Take the next step. Keep growing and become the person you were created to be. 5 enemies stand between you and your potential. Defeat them. Refuse to stay where you are. Take the next step in faith. Your future is waiting on the other side of your decision to grow.